What is up, everybody? It's Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So the stock market had a pretty solid day today. S&P 500 broke even. The Dow Jones also broke even. But the Nasdaq, on the other hand, went up 0.8% as the Russell 2000 went down about 0.9% on the day. So today, like always, we're going to be talking more about the markets, breaking down some technicals, going over 10 stocks to buy now. And I also want to share with you guys what I did in the stock market today, stocks I own right now, and in general, where my head is at right now as a trader and as an investor. So if you guys find value, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, make sure to get yourself into that Strive Smart Discord chat, the Facebook group, get 4 stocks from WeBull and $30 from M1 Finance. All of those are free and linked right down below in the description box. So today, guys, again, it wasn't that crazy of a day. It was a decent day out there, and we had yet again another tech-oriented rally today. I mean, the S&P didn't rally. It only went up 0.03%, but the Nasdaq 100 did very well. That's because Facebook was up 2%, Apple went up 3.7%, Amazon went up another 1.3%, Netflix did go down a little bit, but that's okay because it was up like 16% yesterday, so that's okay, Netflix. And Microsoft and Google both went up about 0.2, 0.3% each today. So tech did very well, which again is why the Nasdaq did well, but the S&P pretty much broke even. I mean, take a look here on this 5-day, 5-minute. You guys can see it. Yesterday, we saw a big pop because of the inauguration of Joe Biden, and now we're just consolidating, right? We hit another all-time high today at 38.61. We pulled down to about 38.45, which was where we were at the market open today, which held as support, which is a good sign. And we ended up going right back up at the close of the market to about 38.60. We didn't break out of there. We didn't hit another all-time high. In fact, we actually sold off from there heading into the close. So if I go into this intraday chart, you guys can see we're actually trading within this little channel right now on the S&P 500 with support at about 38.45. That's actually stemming back from yesterday at about 2 p.m. here on the East Coast. 38.45 was a big support, and resistance at about 38.60, which also was a big resistance in yesterday's session. So when it comes to direction in the short term, where are we going? It's kind of difficult to tell because, again, we're in this little 15-point window, and we haven't really picked a direction out of the resistance or below the support. So for tomorrow, that's exactly what I'm looking for, right? Are we going to break 38.45 on the bottom side? If so, we might be selling off, and that might not be the worst thing, guys, because the markets have been going up a lot recently, especially these past couple of trading days. So if 38.45 were to break, maybe the S&P 500 could end up going to 38.20, 25, right around there. And if that were to break, another big support, maybe we go back down to 3,800, right around this 50 SMA on this hourly chart, or maybe down to 37.90. These could be pull down areas, although I don't know if we're going to get back into the mid 3700s, right around this 180 SMA on the hourly chart. That might be a stretch, but overall, 3800, 3820, that could be a pullback level. That's if, again, we break 3845 on these smaller time frames. And on the upside, again, 3860, if that's able to break, who knows? We could end up gapping a lot higher here, and maybe not a lot higher. I don't want to exaggerate it, but maybe 3,900. That could be the level we do get to if 3860 does break on the upside. So today was more of just a consolidation day after a big, nice, juicy gap up yesterday, and that's pretty normal after we see in general big run-ups. You know, it's not unusual for the next day to see a bit of consolidation, and that's exactly what we got today. And the Nasdaq 100 didn't consolidate. In fact, we hit, again, 0.8% green day today and another all-time high at 13,433. And it's no mystery. The bulls are 100% in charge on the Nasdaq 100. And honestly, guys, I think this is a bit overbought. I'm not calling a top here because nobody knows where the top is, but I think it's a little bit overbought at 13,400, 500. So I'd like to see it, even if it runs up tomorrow again, who knows, maybe to 13,500, even above that. I'd like to see it eventually pull down, see a bit of a retracement anywhere from 13,000 flat. I mean, that'd be a good spot for it to consolidate a bit, which was a resistance from the past couple of trading days, so watch 13,000, maybe even 12,900, 12,850. That could be another level that we could be going to. But overall, at this point in time, I'd be careful with a lot of these tech names. Yeah, there could be some more upside, but they are a little bit overbought in the short term, at least in my opinion. And what do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comments. As always, I'd love to know your thoughts about the markets, what's going on right now, the technicals. What do you guys think? Drop a comment down below. And as always, if you guys enjoyed the video, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel while you're at it. So what did I do today? Today was a pretty interesting day, and I actually ended up not trimming out of Apple. Not cut out because I made a profit, but I got out of Apple. I got out of Apple a little bit prematurely. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It went up to about wow, now that I'm looking at it, I got out very prematurely. Dang it, Stas. Well, actually, no, that was just one little candle. I was looking at this. It got to 140. That's crazy. So, yeah, if you were able to get out at this point, kudos to you. I mean, this is insanely unusual price action. But for the most part, other than that 140 spike we had, we got to about 137, and I actually got out of this position earlier in the day before this run-up at about $134.25. Actually, no, it was $134.15, and yeah, I mean, I got out a bit early. That's okay. You can't always time the top. You can't always time the bottom. Like I say on the channel, guys, the idea of trading is to grab your piece of the pie, not the entire pie. That would be great. I mean, it's awesome to have the whole pie. Hey, that'd be awesome. But it's the idea is to grab your piece of the pie, and I sure did that. I was in Apple at 130, got out at 134. That's awesome, and yeah, that's what I did there. Although I did leave some money on the table, it's okay. It happens. You can't beat yourself up over those things. And Mara, guys, ticker symbol MARA, which is a crypto play. This is one that I also got into today, and I made a video earlier on this. It's linked down below in the description box. Make sure to go check that video out. And it's interesting what I did here, guys. And, in that video, and if you guys watch it, you'll see this. I said I wanted to swing trade Mara. I got in at 16.55 today, earlier in the day. And I said I wanted to swing trade it, maybe $20, $25 plus. And after I published that video, talk about great timing, this thing went parabolic. It went all the way to about $19, and I actually sold before that. And this is an instance where I went against my original plan. And that's also something that you guys have to realize. You don't always have to go with your original plan. If something spikes up very quickly, sometimes, hey, you could take the profit. And that's what I did today. Again, I got in at 16.55. We talked about that in the Discord chat. That's linked down below. It's free to join that. And again, I made a video on it earlier, and it just went parabolic to the point where it was such a quick move. And that's because crypto is very volatile. Bitcoin is very volatile. And I got out a little bit under $18, $17.90 to be exact. So I was up, like 7%? Yeah, we're over that, 8%. And I figured, let me just take this quick little 8%. I didn't build out the position fully. I only had about 150 shares, and you guys will see in that video, if you guys watch it, I wanted to get up to maybe 300 shares. So I didn't build it out, but I was able to grab a quick little, I think it was like $200 profit on this position here, which is very awesome for such a quick little, day trade with a smaller size position, right? So that's what I did, and again, check out that video. It's linked down below. And I guess everything happens for a reason, guys, because it went up to $19. I was kicking myself a little bit for not selling it after or not holding it a bit longer. And again, you can't time everything. And I guess everything happens for a reason, because this thing hit $19, and now take a look at where it is after market hours. It's at about $16.55, right around my original cost basis. So now I'm like, yes, I got out. That was perfect. Good move there, Stas. I'm happy about that. And another reason why I was tempted to get out was because it was still downtrending on this 5-day, 5-minute. And you guys can see, based on this rejection here at $19 and the dump off here after hours, it looks like the downtrend's continuing. So go check out that video down below. We talk more about this, my thoughts around it, and go check out that video. And I'm also still in SBE. I'm in this one at $39.65, and I actually added more to it today, right before the market closed, at $40.30. So I added more to my position here with SBE. Ultimately, I think this is going mid-40s, right? I think that's where it's headed. I like the way it's holding $39-$40 right around this 180 SMA 4-hour chart. I'm loving that. I think the next gap up is coming to about 43. If 43 breaks, I think we're going to be going, like I said, mid-40s, 45, 46, and that's what I'm holding on for. So that's what I'm pretty much doing. Those are the active moves that I made today. Apple sold out, Mara in and out of that, and SBE, I just added more to it, and I'm still also in NEO at 57.25. That's a swing trade I'm holding on to. This one's up about $1 per share for my cost basis. Workhorse is also one that I'm in, which is getting clobbered recently, but don't sleep on it, guys. Do not sleep on it, because this uptrend looks like it's holding here, and roughly at $22, that was a resistance. It seems like we are holding that now as a support. So that's a good sign for Workhorse that it wants to try and get back up to the mid-20s. So I'm holding on to Workhorse still, and I'm also in, like you guys know, I've been in this one, SLV, for that silver exposure. So let me know down below in the comments, what are you guys up to? What stocks are you holding? What did you do today? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments down below. Now let's talk about, I have 10 stocks here, guys, 10 stocks for you guys. Let's talk about what I am watching for the rest of this week, and of course for next week, right? So number one is Intel, ticker symbol INTC. They actually just reported earnings today. The stock went up 6.5% leading into this earnings report, and they reported the earnings. The stock went up, I believe, even more, or actually, no, it's been going down after that earnings report. But they had a pretty solid earnings report, $1.10 EPS versus 93 EPS estimated, so they beat EPS, and revenue also beat by a pretty nice margin, $17.5 billion in revenue versus the $16.06 billion estimated. And there goes Siri again. This is a daily thing, guys. Siri just starts talking on my iWatch. I don't know why she's doing that, but we see again, Intel's doing pretty solid. It did at the close. Now it's down a bit after market hours, but they beat EPS, they beat revenue. And for those dividend people out there, you like those juicy old dividends, they raised their quarterly dividend from 33 cents to 34.75, so almost 35 cents, which is roughly a 5% increase for that dividend. So Intel, and we're not going to dive deeper into the earnings. Obviously, the video would be too long, but they did pretty solid, and guidance looks like it's up. They topped expectations which is awesome. And I'm looking at this more as a momentum play, and I'm actually liking how it's pulled down here to about 60. Hopefully it gets down even lower, maybe 58, 57. That could be an even better dip buy here for Intel. So this is one worth watching, no doubt about it, as the tides are slowly shifting from downtrending for months on end, and now we're breaking out of that downtrend. So watch that. Watch out for Intel, guys. Moderna is another one, ticker symbol MRNA. This is obviously one of the many companies producing a V-shot for the CV, and this is one that arguably the stock at least, arguably got ahead of itself. I mean, it went from $68 to about $180 in the span of a couple weeks. That's insanity, right? That was a pop of what, like 150%? I mean, that's insane. And from that point, it went down a good chunk, about 40%, which is awesome. Now we can finally watch this as a dip buy. And ever since that drop, I was telling you guys back then a couple weeks ago, don't just rush into it because it's dropping aggressively, right? Wait till it finds a bottom, wait till it consolidates, and maybe wait till it starts to climb back up. And now fast forward a couple weeks, it's done that. And yeah, we missed some of the move, but we're getting more confirmation that, okay, this is not a bull trap, although it could still be a bull trap, but we're looking at this as more of we have more confidence in it. Let's just put it that way, because it's been slowly rising for the past couple of weeks. And at this point, today it went up 6%. And right where we are now, this is a pivotal spot. The 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart, and right around this level here at about 130, that is where we saw resistance back in, or was a support actually back in the beginning of December, and it was actually also a support in the middle of December. And you guys know when a support breaks, it becomes resistance. So 130. I think if 133, 135 could break, that is where we're going to see another leg up for Moderna, which could be putting it anywhere from, I'd say, let's take a look here, maybe 140, could be a level 145, I'd say. So watch out for that, 135 to 145. That could be the next leg up here on Moderna. I'm liking that. And Amazon is another company I'm liking here. The stock is pretty interesting. We actually, I had this. I sold out for a profit yesterday, if you guys remember that in yesterday's video. And they're reporting earnings on the 2nd. And just because I sold out doesn't mean that I'm not looking to get back in. In fact, I would love to get back in on Amazon if it's able to prove that it's going to break this 33.50 level of resistance. I mean, this has been a resistance for months. Ever since the beginning of November, we got hit there. We got hit there back in the end of December, and now we're right at that level again, and we're struggling there based on today's price action. We literally got rejected right at 33.50. So I'd like to see that break before entering another position on Amazon, and from there, 33.50, I think 3,500 is the next target, and a lot of these analysts would agree, because today we got a price increase from B of A Securities. They took this thing, their price target, from 3,650 to 4,000. So yeah, needless to say, I've been bullish on Amazon. I own it in long-term accounts, and B of A Securities and many other ones are also bullish. So yeah, let's watch out for Amazon, and we have to keep an eye on their earnings report again, which is coming here in about 2 weeks. So watch out for Amazon. Virgin Galactic is another one, SPCE. They actually tweeted out that they're going to be doing something interesting here, and literally the second they tweeted this thing out, the stock went bananas. It was at 2 p.m. Go check their Twitter, guys, to see how this correlates. It's interesting. They tweeted at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, quote unquote, our mothership, VMS Eve, will be conducting a flight from Spaceport America, New Mexico today and another tomorrow. Today's pilots will be CJ Sturko. I hope I'm not saying that wrong. CJ Sturko and Dave McKay. They will be using VMS Eve to simulate a spaceship, or simulate the spaceship to Unity's glide and approach to land phase. So they're really trying to dial in this whole process to get Branson up in a couple months. And if that goes smoothly, we all know where the stock is going. It's going to the moon. I think it's going to go over 40 plus bucks, 45, maybe even 50 in the next coming months if we're able to get all these puzzle pieces aligned, everything goes smoothly. This stock has a bright future, in my honest opinion, which is why I cover it on the channel and which is why I own some of this stock in my long-term account. So, yeah, watch out for Virgin Galactic, guys, and take a look at this level coming up. Seems like we are going to be squeezing out of this based on the trend that's forming. Take a look here. Hold up. Wait a second. There we go. You can see a big resistance at 34 bucks, 33.80, but we're also uptrending into that resistance. So this is an ascending triangle based on what I'm seeing. And if we squeeze out of 34, I can see this thing getting back to 36, right? 35, 36. So watch out for that in the short term. Square is also getting smashed. Square went down 3% today. It went down $7. It's currently down from its peak. Let's take a look here. Over 11%, almost 12% to be exact. And we're at an interesting point. Although we have broken this 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart, big support. We did break that. We're maintaining the uptrend on the flip side, right? You know, we're maintaining the higher low here based on today's close at about 218, 219. So this could be an interesting spot, maybe for some sort of relief rally on Square, maybe from 220. If it, you know, maybe it fills the gap back up to 230, maybe 235. That could be something worth watching as it is trading within this wedge right now. So Square, you know, you got to look at this as honestly a buying opportunity. Although I never tell you guys to buy stocks, I never do that because you must do your own due diligence. As always, I'm simply talking about what I'm looking to buy, and Square's on that list, no doubt about it. So watch out for Square. Watch out for CRM. This is another one, CRM. This has ultimately or arguably more upside than Square because it's beaten down more than Square. It's in a bear market. It's down 20% from its peak. And I think this is the point of turnaround. And I'm not going to call it like, oh, tomorrow's the day we're going to turn around, guys. But I think if 228, 230 can break this 180 SMA and this old support and resistance, honestly, it was a support back in the end of October, and it's been a resistance ever since the beginning of December, right around 228, 230. I think if that level could take out, we break out of that point, I think there's a big gap up coming for CRM. And an earnings report, I mean, sometimes with these stocks, guys, you notice this as well. If a stock has just been consolidating for weeks, not doing anything, sometimes, most of the time, it takes either a good earnings report to move that stock, a catalyst in the news, you know, something, right? We need something that's going to move CRM. And I think once we get that, this thing could easily be back up to 245, 250. 255, that'll be putting it right at the resistance of this wedge. So yeah, watch out for a 230 break for CRM. Fubo is another one I was getting questions on today, ticker symbol FUBO. This is one that went up, wow, 17%. Earlier in the day when I looked at this, it was up like 5%. So yeah, I missed a move there on Fubo, but honestly, the move might not be done yet. There could be even more upside because we can see here. And this is interesting because we talked about how Fubo was looking very similar in terms of pattern a couple days ago to RMO. You guys can see Romeo Power here. It looks like the head and shoulders playing out on Romeo Power. We got rejected at the neckline at $24, but going back to Fubo, which was also looking like a potential head and shoulder a couple days ago, you guys can see it actually broke the neckline. The neckline was at about $32. We broke that a couple days ago on the 13th of January. We hit about $40 after that break above 32, and now we broke out of 32 again. So it looks like this head and shoulder on Fubo is not panning out. We're actually breaking out to the point where I think we could end up retesting that $40 level. And I'm not saying we're going to go to $40 tomorrow. We could. I'm not saying we are, though. I'm just saying at some point we could end up going there. It looks like it wants to, which from where it is now up to about $40, that could be around a 10-11% upside, 10-11% profit. So watch out for Fubo. AMD's another one we called out yesterday. Going to talk about it again here today. And gosh, this is running up after hours. That's probably because of Intel, right? We have to look at, I'm going to look deeper into Intel's report later, but it's probably dealing with Intel. That's why we see AMD going up. But you can see overall, AMD is holding the uptrend on the 4-hour chart. And I told you guys yesterday, watch for that gap up to $95, and looks like we're getting exactly that here after market hours. And even if it goes to 95, you guys might be like, oh, the move's over. I think over 95 could be another gap up to about $100. So the move isn't necessarily over. But yeah, just watch out for this. There could be more upside. And yeah, this thing's gapping up. Let's take a look on the live news tab if anything it says anything here. But yeah, it's probably because Intel's beating. They beat earnings. AMD is doing well, kind of because they correlate in a sense. And you can see, we've seen in the past, bad news for Intel is good news for AMD. Good news for AMD, bad news for Intel. And sometimes they go together. Who knows, right? But at this point, it is gapping up, and that's something worth watching tomorrow. Facebook is another one worth watching. This one up 2% today. We hit about 245 a couple days ago. If you guys played this bounce, that's awesome. You made some money. That's great. And now we're getting to a big resistance, right? So I wouldn't necessarily buy it here. It's a little bit late. You're a little bit late to the party, in my humble opinion. But I would end up picking up Facebook if it were to break 275, 280. I think that could be the next leg up as we break this overall wedge that you guys see on the 4-hour here. And on top of that, we have earnings coming up in 6 days next week. So that's worth watching, 100%, no doubt about it. That's Facebook, ticker symbol FB. And the last one is CIIC, guys. This is one that it broke out of this wedge a couple days ago, and it's just been consolidating, really. It hasn't done much in the past couple of days, but I feel like it's gearing up for a move. You guys can see on the 4-hour, we're holding the 180 SMA and the 50 SMA as support. And if we zoom in a bit onto this, let's say maybe this 20-day chart. Let me take a look at what this is looking like. What we see here, again, you can see that $28 support holding nicely. We're seeing, I don't even know, what are you going to call this? Maybe a descending triangle, which is not so great from a bullish perspective. But if we're able to just break out, I'd say above $29, maybe $30, that is where we're going to see another leg up, in my opinion, on CIIC. And overall, my price target on this stock, and I don't know when it's going to hit it, but I think we could get 35 plus. I think that is where we're going. So here it could be a good deal. But again, do your own research, do your own due diligence. So that's it for the video, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Make sure to subscribe, guys. Like I've said before, I look at my analytics. A lot of you guys watch the videos, but you're not subscribed. I think like 40% watch the videos, but they're not subscribed. And if that's you, make sure to subscribe. Join the family. Come on, subscribe to the channel. Get yourself into that Discord chat, the Facebook group. Get 4 stocks from WeBull. Those are valued up to $1,600. All you have to do is deposit $100, and you get your 4 stocks from WeBull. And you could also get $30 from M1 Finance. All you have to do is open up an account, deposit any amount of money, and you literally get $30 free. And both of those, again, are free and linked right down below in the description box. So I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks for watching. As always, keep crushing the markets, guys. Stay safe out there. Peace out.